So my presentation is going to be about the HTML5 meetup that happened in San Francisco on February 25th, 2018. My name is Abhishek Rajmundari. So I became a member on February 21st, 2018, and the most interesting meetup that I saw was the SFHTML5 meetup happening in San Francisco. They were about to discuss a new course released by Google just to teach people about HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Here is some of the meetup information, the URL, the payment I made for the meetup, and the location of the meetup. So there were 5 presenters. Sarah Clark, she was the lead on the course itself, and most of the questions were directed to her while the lecture was happening. Paul Lover was more of the host. He mediated things while the discussion was happening. Meg Bauman was one of the testers. Peter Jacobson was one of the engineers behind the website, and Bill was one of the people that played a big role in how accessibility was played out for the HTML5 course refresher site. Right, the meetup was basically split into 4 categories. They introduced us about mobile web searches and how important it has become to us that these web searches are convenient rather than confusing to us, and mostly we web surf on our phones than our computers these days. That's why they talked about the importance of mobile web searches. Then Meg, one of the testers, she came up and talked about the certification and how it was the next stepping stone to getting a better job or a pay raise. She basically talked about it being a refresher course rather than a learning course, because people who did do the survey on the test were people who were already in the industry. They were the most successful in the tests. Bill also talked about how accessible the site was, that you could do it from any corner of the world. Peter then talked about how the website was built and the complications that he faced when he was building the website. A few people I met were Siddharth. He is also from Cal State East Bay. He's part of the IEE club and the Startup Club, and it's the first time I met him. I also talked to Peter, one of the presenters, and he was one of the software engineers behind the website. He talked about the toughest thing that happened to him while working with service workers. I also went with my friend Steven, who was also enrolled in the same class as me, and Eric, who I have for discrete mathematics. I think the event was pretty insightful. They educated me on um, being more aware of new technologies and always being up to date. Also, taking the refresher course on HTML5. It encouraged me to learn more about it, and I might as well take the certification myself once I graduate from school. So all in all, I think the meetup was very successful. I learned a lot, and I look forward to my next meetup.